Title of this video is going to be I missed the opportunity to get away from my abusive, toxic / crackhead, alcoholic, crazy ex-boyfriend that I was with years ago. So we left off on the video where I was telling you guys about how my sister, Life with Tashana, had took my son from me for me to get myself back together before he can come back and start back staying with me in this toxic ex-boyfriend or whatever. So she ends up having my son for about a month or so. And it wasn't a month or so, it was a month. She had him for a month. After I got him back, I still remained with the guy, the crackhead. I still remained with him. And, you know, he chilled out a little bit. Did he stop doing drugs? No, he didn't. But he tried to tone it down a bit or whatever, you know, and try to call himself trying to quit. You know what I'm saying? But we all know how that go. If you dealt with a drug addict or alcoholic, they can do it for a couple of days or so, but then with those type of things, they need a doctor in order to, you know, clear themselves of those addictions. They just can't stop that. Just like, you know, that they can with the grace of God. I'm gonna take that back. They can with the grace of God, but he wasn't seeking God while he was doing this nonsense here. So he needed medical treatment to help him leave this alone, something he's been doing for a very, very long time. So he, you know, he decent acting at this time, but he still got all the shenanigans that go along with him being on drugs or whatever going on. So I'm still dealing with those things. After a while, I got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to support you in your habit anymore, because with me supporting you in your habit, it ain't doing nothing but making you turn against me. So when you go and get high, you turn around and now you mad at me and want to fuss and fight and all this here stuff. So I'm like, I'm just not going to don't come ask me for any money for your drugs. That's your habit. Provide the money for your own habit. I smoke cigarettes and I drink from time to time. Those are my two habits that I can afford, and that's what I'm doing. So you need to go figure out how you're going to support your habit, because I'm not going to do it anymore. So that's when everything hit the fan. I decided that I'm not going to give him money anymore, my money. If it's his money and I'm just holding it for him, I'll give him that. But my hard-earned working money, no, I'm not going to give you my money anymore. Because all you doing is when you go get high, you turn around and you want to fight with me. So no, I'm good. So now that I'm like, no, and I'm standing on, you know, the no to the money or whatever, he's getting out of hand with the abuse now. I mean, he ain't got no limit to where he gonna go when I tell him no. So a lot of fights that take place after me getting my son back are because I'm telling him no, that I'm not going to give him the money to, you know, do his extracurricular activities. So I got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I think I want to be done with him or whatever. And I said it to him, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? I think that we should just go our separate ways. I was like, this is beginning to be too much for me. And I don't like the way things going down. I don't like the way I'm feeling. I don't like none of this stuff. I was like, I don't want to be in this relationship no more. So I was thinking that it was just that simple, you know. And he played with me like it was that simple. He did. But little do I know, I don't even know what's lying ahead of me. It's just steady going downhill, 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 downhill. And I am so stuck under this man's nonsense and toxicity that whenever the opportunity presented itself for me to get away from him, I didn't take it. Why? Because every time I would get away from him, or something happened that, you know, opened the door for me to get away, I get sucked back in. I allowed myself to get sucked back in because the love was overpowering. The love and toxicity, because we do tend to fall in love with the toxicity too. So the love and toxicity that I had for him overpowered the reality of things. I know I should get away from this man. I know I should leave him alone because of the things that he's doing to me and the way he's got my son feeling, you know what I'm saying? But I get sucked back in. But here's why I get sucked back in with this relationship. Because we doing the physical fighting and the verbal, it now takes a turn pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, now I'm in a different state of mind because he done dropped some words on me, talking about he'll unalive me if I leave him. So me seeing some of the crazy things that he's already done to me, why wouldn't I believe he wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I'm terrified because of all the things that he has shown me. And I'm going to say that we haven't even got to the worst of the worst yet. But at this point, because I know that if he say gonna do something, he does it. I ain't finna play with him like that. You know what I'm saying? But I know I still need to get away from him. But this ain't the time yet. You know what I'm saying? I got to play my cards right because I don't want to be unalive. So I tell him that, you know, I think that he should go back to his hometown and, you know, we should take a break, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because I started looking at his face and I'm like, okay, maybe we should just take a break. And, you know, you go stay back with your parents or whoever you want to stay with, and I stay here. Let me just kind of, you know, get my stuff back on track, you know, and get my mind right and all this here stuff. And then we can talk about getting together. But really in my mind, we weren't going to get back together. So he was like, man, I really hate that you don't want to be with me no more. And he was like, I know if we take a break, you ain't going to come back, this, that, and the third. So, you know, he played it cool. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, get your stuff, and I'll take you back to your hometown. This, then, you know, I'll take you back to your hometown. So go and get your stuff together, and we'll say our goodbyes, and we'll take this little break, and then we'll see where it leads us. He's like, okay. So he pack up all his little stuff, and we get in the car. We heading on down to where he's from. While we're on this drive, heading to take him to his mom's house, I remember us being on this little bridge. It wasn't a big tall bridge or anything like that, but we got on this bridge, and he went in the glove compartment, and he just started pulling out all the stuff that was in my glove compartment and throwing it out the window. My registration was in there, important papers was in there and everything. He just started taking them, throwing them out the window, and then he started ripping stuff up, throwing it out the window. And I mean, I'm sitting here like, what are you doing? He knew my insurance and my tag, my registration and all that good stuff was in there. He just was chunking everything out right on this highway. So I'm looking in the rearview mirror. All of my important papers are just flying in the wind back there. So I reach over and I punch him because I'm like, why are you doing stupid stuff? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm driving. I'm driving. My son is in the back seat. So no, I should not have hauled off and hit him, but I didn't know what else to do at that point because, fool, this is my important papers that you're throwing out the window that now I'm probably not even going to be able to go and find this stuff when I get ready to come back this way because it's blowing everywhere and there's water under this bridge. So If it done hit the water, it ain't no good. So, you know, it was my first reaction. So, because I hit him, he sat on back. But then he started getting real stupid. So he lit up a cigarette. He's smoking the cigarette. And he waited until that cherry got real bright red on the front of that cigarette. And he started sticking it to my arm while I'm driving. I think he stuck it to my chin, too. The same cheek that he bit at the bowling alley, he stuck the cigarette to my chin, my cheek. And then he just kept on sticking it to my shoulder because I'm driving. So, you know, he on my right side. He's sticking the cigarette. I'm not breaking my concentration on this road because my baby is in this car. But if my baby wasn't in the car, I don't know what I probably would have done. But he was in the car, so I had to keep that in mind. And like I said, I was wrong for hauling off and hitting him first, but that was my first reaction. I didn't know what else to do. Because at this point, I'm telling y'all, he doing stupid, crazy stuff. Like, he's showing me that he crazy. And so I'm like, you know, when he says that, you know, he'll take me out of here if I leave him, I take him seriously with that because of all the things that he done showed me, you know. So the cigarette burning me ain't doing nothing for me. It's not giving him the reaction that he want, because he want me to jerk the wheel and all this stuff. And so now that I won't, you know, jerk the wheel, now he's grabbing the wheel. You know what I'm saying? So it just started getting real crazy. And my baby is in this back seat. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't lose control of this steering wheel, because my baby is in this car. And like I said, yes, I was wrong for hauling off and hitting him first, but I need to hit him first before he hit me. But then it turns into him loving to go ahead and jump on me when I'm driving, because he know when I'm standing up, it's a battle. So he get the best of me when I'm sitting down or when I'm in a position where I'm, you know, catching me off guard. He loved to do that now, because he know that if I'm standing 10 toes down, he know I'm going to get with him. So he would always catch me in awkward positions and try me like that. So we finally make it to our destination or whatever. He finally, you know, calm on down, because at this point, he in between coming down off of his high. And he wants money from me, because he still turned around and asked me for $20. And I'm like, no. So I tell him no. He gets stupid again. So we get to his mama house. This when he starts taking the keys everywhere we go now, because I've already voiced to him that I want to take a break from him. We just basically, to make a long story short, we just drove up there to his mom's house. He played me thinking that I was going to take him so we could take this break from each other. But he used me to get a ride to go get money from his mom. His mom knew we were on the way. And she knew that she was just only giving him money. She didn't know he was coming to stay and that we was about to take a break. So I thought that she was under the impression that that's what was going on. No. She was under the impression that I was bringing him there to pick up money from her. She didn't know nothing about we taking a break and him going to be staying at her house or anything like that. So when we get there, he takes the key out. As soon as I turn the car off, he snatched the key out of the ignition. And now the key is with him. So now we go in his mom's house. I wasn't going to get out the car, but he was like, get out the car. So we get to his mom's house, and now I'm sitting in there faking, because I ain't never been in this position before. You know what I'm saying? I usually fight, go and get everything over, but I ain't never had nobody hemming me up in this type of way before, where I'm actually like, dang, I don't want to play with this man like that, because he already showing signs of craziness. So I ain't finna play with him like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he capable of, because who I met in the beginning is not who is here now, which was all a facade. So, you know what I'm saying? So he's acting like ain't nothing done happened, like we good. I'm sitting here with fresh cigarette burns on me and everything, and my son looking crazy in the face, and me, now I done decided to, you know, put on a smile and act just like him, like ain't nothing just happened. So his mom give him the money. He goes, he does a couple of things for her around the house, and then she give him the money. So he basically had to work for the money. So now it's time to go, and I'm just like, let me see the key real quick. I'm thinking I could ask him for the key in front of his mama, because we putting on a scene right now. And so if I can get the key, I'm gonna grab my son. We finna get in the car. We finna go. Nope. So I go, I'm like, he was in his mama room, and she was sitting there. And so I'm like, it'll be safe to ask him in front of her. So I go in there. I was like, babe, let me get the key, because you know I'm in my role. So I'm still playing the role like everything cool. I was like, babe, let me get the key real quick. I need to go to the car and get something. And he was like, oh, the door ain't locked. Go ahead and go. I'm like, freak. That kills that plan. So, you know, I was like, you know, if he give me this key in front of his mama, I'm going to leave him right here at his mama house. I'm going to just go and pull off. No nothing. His stuff may still be in the back of the car, but this is the opportunity to go ahead and leave. Nope. He wasn't going for it. So after that, after I asked for that key, he went on ahead and shut everything down. He's like, all right, Mom, we got to go. Yeah, we got to head back because she got to go to work in the morning. My son got to go to school, this, that, and the third. And so we leave and we heading back to the hotel. So my plan to get rid of him did not work. So now I'm sitting here like, okay, how am I going to get rid of this man? So I still ain't get rid of him. And the opportunity that presented itself, and I could have got away, but I messed up. When they say their family is just as narcissistic as they are. They tried to pretend like they didn't know he was a crackhead. Knew full-blown well what he was. But I was the only one in the dark, didn't know anything when it first went down. So when she first met me, she knew who her son was. And so here I am telling her like it's a big secret, because he telling me that she doesn't know. She just think that he like to drink or whatever. And so here I am telling her who he is. She pretending like she don't know it. You knew who this man was. That's why you know, oh, you so beautiful. You're so nice to my son. You're so good for my son. This, that, and the third. You was pushing him on me. She just doing her job. I ain't mad at her. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad at myself. So here it is. Like I said, we get back to the hotel and all that good stuff. And the ride home was like nothing happened, because he got money now. So now I ain't got to worry about him asking me for money. So he good. He in his own little zone. He got what he wanted to get from his mama. And so, but that money only going to last so long. Because then when he run out of that, he going to be trying to get in my pocket for me to give him some money, which is going to start another fight, because I'm going to tell him no. So we get back to the hotel. Y'all already know what went down. He went and got high. So when he got high, now he want to apologize for everything that happened earlier that day. And I didn't mean it. And you know what I'm saying? But I meant what I said about leaving me. He was like, I love you. You did, you know, you may not have been in that situation before, but they'll say whatever they need to say to scare you into staying. So, like I said, opportunity presented itself. He ended up going to jail behind the high-speed chase that he did in my car and crashed into the back of a truck. He didn't go to court, and he didn't pay those fines, and so he ended up going to court, and they had a warrant for his arrest, and they put him in jail. He stayed there for about a month. I could have got away then, but the gaslighting and the hoovering started all over again, and I fell back in the trap, because now he's in jail. You know that jailhouse talk come along, and it be sounding real good. this a new rodeo. This is my first time dealing with him in jail. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, okay, since he away from the drugs, his mind is clear. Now I get the real him, and this is all I've been waiting for. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking in my mind that if he's been away from these drugs for a month, he should be good to just go ahead, get out of there, transition to a rehab. That's always the plan. But that don't work. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling him, get yourself together and I'll stay. But if you want to be this person, I gotta go. So he in jail. I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, maybe I can get away this time. But baby, you better believe he was on me like white on rice. And then he sent his mom them on me too, because then they started calling, because I didn't have the phone set up or anything for the jail. Not at that moment, not in the beginning. I didn't have the phone or anything set up to put money on and all that good stuff. So his mom, them, the way we were talking was through his family. So they would call every day faithfully for him to allow me to talk to him. And even when I would be like, I don't want to talk to him or whatever, they'd be like, sis or daughter, you know what I'm saying? That was what they called me. So his sister would call and she'd be like, sis, he been blowing my phone up all day. He crying and he want to just, he say he want to talk to you. He want to apologize, this, that, and the third. So my little soft-hearted self fall for the okie doke. That one answer to the phone sucked me back into it. Because he sounds like he got his mind together. He sounds like he got himself together now. And since he got this little boost, we can move forward in the relationship now. At least that's what he's telling me. You know what I'm saying? He playing with me, gaslighting me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Since I'm in here now, I'm clean. I ain't had no drugs. And so I should be able to go straight to the rehab right after this or whatever and just stay on the straight and narrow. It sounds good. I ate it up. I did. I ate that thing up because that's all I wanted. I wanted him to get himself together so we could be happy, be a good couple, a happy couple together. Nope. So, like I said, he did a month in there. When he got out, he went right back to the same nonsense. And y'all already knew that because y'all done been through this before. But this was my first rodeo dealing with a crackhead. So, I'm thinking that, I just got so much hope for the relationship. So I'm like, okay, if he done been locked up for a month, his system should be clear and he should be able to just go ahead and transition to a rehab right after he get out, so that way he can keep up, just like he was saying he was gonna do. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. No. As soon as he got out, he had all these excuses on why he can't go to rehab, because I'm gonna leave him and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, man, no, I need you to go to rehab. So if you want me to stay, that's what I need you to do. The fear of him unaliving me went away because of the jailhouse talk. And so, like I said, I was sucked back in. So I'm going to leave y'all right there and I'll give you guys the rest. But if you're in this type of relationship, just know that you're better than this and talk to somebody. People can give you different ways to get out of it, but you got to have it in your heart to really want to leave. That's the only way it's going to work, because it first starts with you, not with somebody else's idea. I had gotten so many ideas of how I can get away from him, but I was stuck in my mind because getting out started dwindling down to this much possibility of getting out, because he's getting crazier by the minute with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna ever get away from this man. But you can. You just got to have your heart set to want to be done with the abuse that you got going on, and know that you are more than worthy and deserving of someone who's gonna love you and treat you right and be considerate to your feelings and not hurt you. They say love don't hurt. I haven't experienced that. I've been looking and waiting on love not to hurt me. And even though it hurt me, I still was loving. And that ain't healthy. I'm learning so much now. And I'm healing in a different way now. You know what I'm saying? But please, if you're in an abusive relationship, pray about it and get out. Your first chance that you can, that's why I say talk to somebody. That way somebody else got your back to help you against them, because they seem like big giants to us because they're abusing us. They ain't the same way with other people. When your protection comes, they ain't the same way with them. They tone it down. They might jump bad a little bit, but they ain't to the degree that they are with you, how they're abusing you. Because that's what we be thinking in our mind. We're like, well, if he's like that with me, if I bring somebody else into it, he gonna be like that with them. Not all the time. And then too, you gotta know who you dealing with. But that thing almost took me out of here. I had to do something. All I'm saying is go through your journey how you go through your journey. But when it's dangerous, you need to get out. You need to get help. Sometimes we can't see what other people see. Everybody that comes into our life and they say things to you, think for a moment or ask them, have you ever been in this situation before? Because if it's somebody who ain't been in that situation, sometimes for me, that's a little bit hard, because if you ain't been here before, how you gonna tell me how to do this? You know what I'm saying? Even though they're on the outside looking in, they can have wonderful ideas and advice to give you. But if you ain't been here before, how could you possibly help me out of this thing? You know what I'm saying? So I had people around me who's actually been through these things before, and they helped me maneuver through it. But I wasn't so accepting in the beginning when they were offering me the out. I had to literally sit down with myself, get to a point where I say enough is enough. I love myself and I love my baby, and I don't want to be taken away from him. So I had to get to a place where I was actually done with it. Because even though I made up in my mind that I wanted to take a break from him at that point, it wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't the plan wasn't set permanently. It was just a quick fix that I could think of at the time. But it wasn't a planned out perfect plan. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know where it was going to lead me, because I just thought that he was going to be simple like all the other guys that I'm dating and be like, you know what, let's take a break. You do you, I'm going to do me. I'm going to go over here and try to heal and see what I need to figure out about myself, this, that, and the third. And you do, work on yourself or whatever. And that's how I thought it was going to work for him. But little did I know, I didn't know he was going to take the keys out the ignition. Because I just knew that once we got there, he was going to go and then just call me on the phone, and then I get to ignore his calls and stuff like that. But no, that's not how it worked out. That man took the key out the ignition and held it until we got ready to leave, and he made sure that he left and went back to that hotel with me. You ain't finna leave me. That's how he putting it. You ain't finna leave me. I already know what you're up to. He was smart. You know what I'm saying? He done this stuff before. Me, I ain't never been through this, so I thought that it would be easy. But I'm just saying, we gotta wake up. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we be in those moments where it wouldn't be me. I wouldn't allow that. We say that, but then we turn around and get into something, and now we're that same person. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all comment, like, share, subscribe. I thank you guys for all of your support. Y'all are helping me so much in healing and seeing who I really am. And I'm just thankful that I'm out and I'm on this side now. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of the toxic mess, because that's what I've been dealing with a whole lot of in my life. I've been manipulated, tricked, all those things. And a lot of it, I allowed it because I didn't know what love really was. You know what I'm saying? Everything I've been dealt was nothing but games. I was the only one in these relationships who was actually loving for real. I've been getting fake love all this time. So if you like me or know somebody like me, share the videos so they can wake up too, just like I had to wake up. Like I said, y'all have a good night. Love you guys. Mwah. Thank you guys for all you do. Y'all have a good night.